Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we'll see a man who's been in charge for more than a decade, Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions, as they match up with the great Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. From up top, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. And Charles, an NFC North matchup here, the so-called black and blue division.
Atta baby, show that age.
It's going to be a battle in 2019 as well. Who do you like out of this division?
Well, Chicago is a defending champion, and they play defense as well as anyone in the league, so you have to like their chances to repeat. Minnesota thought they were going to run the division, had a rough year. That's not normal Vikings football. They'll get back into the fray. Green Bay had such an underwhelming season last year. They changed coaches, but they still have number 12 throwing the football. And Detroit, they're on a crusade to eliminate bad football and get back to being the Lions that roar.
Time to see Aaron Rodgers and this Green Bay Packers offense operate. In Week 5, they got the victory over Dallas. Big road win, 34-24 to get to 4-1. Although Aaron Rodgers didn't throw for a touchdown in that game. In fact, through 5 games, Rodgers with just 6 touchdown passes. Green Bay has done it more on the ground. 8 rushing touchdowns this season for Green Bay to those 6 passing touchdowns. But whatever the formula, they're winning at 4-1. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
Durable and dependable, but also elite is left tackle David Bakhtiari. He's only missed 6 games in his NFL career. He protects Aaron Rodgers' blind side, and he does it so well. In 2018, named first-team All-Pro for the first time in his career.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Rodgers, and he finds his tight end, Graham. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And Detroit getting set to go now. Caught by Jones. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Set. 180. Here we go. Here we go. Tight end left. Tight end left. Hey, 4 down. 4 down.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they work this out past the 25. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
The 1st down carry here for Johnson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now to Galladay on the jet sweep. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Stafford. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Dean Lowry just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Set. Blue 60.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Got a man, it's Amendola. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Now a play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there. And, look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure. Yeah,
they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete. But they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
To throw again on second down. Stafford.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Again, it's Stafford. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 13-yard line. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
Set. 180. Here we go.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Tramon Williams there to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Johnson running right. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Lions lead 7-0. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And the touchdown run came from Kerryon Johnson to cap things off. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Packers offense making their way back out. Earlier we discussed the Week 5 victory in Dallas, 34-24. You know, it's really been something how they've dominated Dallas. They've won 8 of their last 9 against the Cowboys. In fact, Green Bay 5-0 all-time at AT&T Stadium. That includes a playoff win a few years back against Dallas, and then the Super Bowl 45 victory against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the back of the schedule for Green Bay is loaded with games on the road, so they'll try to take advantage of the next 2 at home against Detroit and then against Oakland. Terrific running there to start the drive, as that's going to go for 15 and a quick first down as well. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Week 5 for Aaron Jones, by the way, was a game for the ages at Dallas. 19 carries, 107 yards, 4 touchdowns. First Packer to run for 4 scores since Dorsey Levens 20 years ago, and the first player ever to run for 4 touchdowns against the Dallas Cowboys. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Going up top. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 41 yards.
Brandon, that was a nice route that time. Lined him up on the right and worked his way all the way across the formation. One of the toughest routes to cover because you keep waiting for the ball to be thrown or for him to break something off. He goes all the way across the field, right to left, for a big play.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Open here is Allison. That's complete. They've moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. This is caught. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
One back in the game, that's Jones, 2nd and goal. Rodgers to throw once more. And he's got the connection to the tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham there to make the grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
Now it's Stafford. Jones has it. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Third and 2, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ready. 280. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
They'll run on first down. Johnson. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Through an opening, and there he goes. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
Touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick six for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year one. By year two, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. Now Crosby for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
Oh, you got deep?
Out of the gun, Stafford. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Here's Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On first down, Johnson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford underneath for Johnson. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Lions with the football here to begin the second quarter. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And it's caught here, Amendola. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's Stafford. Complete to Jones. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, a 22.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
250. 42 the mic. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 12 more yards there and another first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
To the air again, Stafford. And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Prater for the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. That time, a 9-play drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game. Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A'Shawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama. A big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he was going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
58. We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Off of play action, here's Stafford. He gets this one to Johnson. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Johnson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw on 3rd down. Stafford, that's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On 1st down, Stafford here. He completes it to Jones. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Johnson, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
What an advantage having a elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for them really well. That one's down inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And that run there does nothing but juice up the guys who are moving the football. I mean, if you're an offensive lineman, people running it, actually the guy calling plays, you're almost jumping up and down in jubilation, aren't you?
Yeah, now you've got options on second down.
And big-time options. You might want to think about play action and try and get something cheap right here over the top.
He's going to air one out, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
On third down, here's Jones. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. The tackle made there by Jarrett Davis.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. Now Rodgers. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 18. From the gun, here's Stafford. Amendola's got it, complete. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And they have to make sure that the receiver got both feet down in bounds as well.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford, and his throw is going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, but now it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
319. Watch tight. Tight is right. Watch tight. Tight is right. Hey.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Rodgers on target here to Allison. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers to throw again. And that is incomplete here. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Throwing now is Rodgers. A throw caught by Kumaro. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. The Packers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers now to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers finding his tight end, Graham. Packer 1st down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rodgers to throw once more. And Graham's got it. Complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now Rodgers. Well, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Rodgers. And able to find Graham. Complete. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Mason Crosby for the Packers field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they take a 17-14 lead. Now, the drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. The busy night continues for Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the third down stop. They go to Johnson again. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Well, that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Stafford on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Adrian Amos, the safety, able to make the play.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 36.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Johnson's got it complete. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Seventh play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. The shotgun snap for Stafford. Got a man, it's Amendola. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Stafford now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. To throw is Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That one a first down pickup of 8.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Hey, blue 60! Blue down, blue down.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Lions are going to jump back in front.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Now Prater to add the PAT. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So that one a long 11-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Jones. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers got a man. That's Allison. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 2nd and a couple, Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers! Jamal Williams, 45 yards. And the Packers have retaken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. They begin the drive with Johnson, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Again, it's Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy?
Now Williams. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Rodgers going to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42. Rodgers now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Williams. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
What we got? What we got?
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Looking deep now for Amendola. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there for Detroit. 62 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now Stafford looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So on 4th down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. Prater's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well,
yeah.
Right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 21. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he had been able to haul that one in.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
3 butt.
Throwing again. Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Rodgers now on first down. Jones has it. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Rodgers again now. Got his man. It's Williams. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Rodgers. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 41-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
11 yards there, first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The throw over the middle taken in. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Jarrett Davis. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
And Graham's got it, complete. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the 1st down marker. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Crosby puts it through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that. Super tough.
If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Here's Stafford. And this is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Now the Packers get set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it with Jones. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Mike Daniels, his 2nd sack of the night.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Jones. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he checks this one down to Williams. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Crosby is good, and that will make this a 9-point lead. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
And Detroit getting set to go now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 26. From the gun, here's Stafford. He gets this one to Johnson. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. To throw is Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Lions go for it on 4th. It's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the night, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Early on, you hit on it, needing to avoid the big play. Easier said than done, though. There's a big touchdown.
Yeah, but the big thing is when he does get his catches, you've got to tackle him and get him on the ground. Obviously, weren't able to do it on that one.
Prater on to add the extra point. And the lead is down to 2. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. This is Jones. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On the ground, this is Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers running the option right. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Williams. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So Stafford and the Lions now down by 2, just over 1:40 to play. Needing at least 40 yards, you'd have to think, to have a shot. Now it's Stafford. Complete. It's Johnson. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense. Stafford barking out signals and trying to get his guys set quickly. Back to throw. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. He's back to throw. And he's got Amendola on the connection. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. First things first here, they got to pick up the first down.
And remember, it is fourth down, so they've got to pick up a completion here. Otherwise, this one's over.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Back to throw. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Stafford going to come up first and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Underneath for Johnson. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Packers are winners here as we say so long from Lambeau.